All right. Well, signing day is upon us and come and gone here. Always a special day to me. It's special because you have a great group of young people and their families that have chosen to come be a part of our program, that publicly express by signing with Clemson that they believe in us, that they believe in our program, the way we do things, who we are, and that's really, really, something that you just never take for granted, and I'm very thankful. It's a blessing, really, to welcome another great group of young people, and again, a great group of families as well to come join us here. I'm very thankful for all the families that have, just blessed us with the opportunity to coach their son. And it has been a great day. No drama or anything like that. You got some of the best players in the country that have been committed for a long time, and knew what they wanted to do, and would have signed back in the summer if you'd have let them. And so it's just really, really cool for the day to finally get here that they've been waiting on, and just very thankful for this group. As I always say, time will tell, as it does with any signing class. Everybody gets excited about the signing class. I get a little more excited about what they do throughout their career. So time will tell with this class, just like it does every other class. But I really believe that this group will prove to be a very, very special group. I really believe that. I think it's a group that's built in the trenches. We've got a lot of athleticism. We've got a bunch of skill on both sides. Another great quarterback coming in here. Just really excited about the whole group and how we put it together. And something that we're very proud of. Every class that I've had since February of '09, my first class, every single class. Now that we won the league this year, every single class has won a championship, which is a part of what we want for everybody that comes to Clemson. So every single class has won a championship that's been here, or multiple, and I think that without a doubt this group will keep that going. So excited to get started with them when that time comes. This is my 14th signing class, and it's our 13th top 15 class in a row. So, like everything that we do in this program, we're incredibly consistent. We've been very consistent in recruiting. We've been very consistent in graduation. We've been very consistent in guys going to the NFL, very consistent in job placement, as we've had 100% job placement going on 5 years in a row, very consistent in winning on the field. So it all starts in recruiting. And being consistent in that, and your evaluation, your development, getting the right people to come be a part of your program. So I'm really, really proud of our staff. Our staff did a wonderful job, especially with a lot of transition and change last year, for our staff to be able to go out and put together one of the best classes in the country and to hit it out of the park with what we needed to do. And then not only the guys, but we got several guys that we thought would be leaving Clemson that are going to stay at Clemson. So that's also a sign. When you see guys that could go ahead and go to the pros and all this stuff that's going on in college football, to choose to want to stay, I think that just shows how they feel about Clemson, how they feel about their coaches, and again, who we are as a program. So this is a great day for us, for sure, and again, what it's all about. So I'm really proud of the staff again, and when I say the staff, it's the coaches, it's our support staff, it's Jordan, it's Ty, it's Zach, it's Josh, it's Chanel, it's James. I mean, everybody just does an unbelievable job. All of our student helpers and workers, everybody just it's an all-hands-on-deck approach here, and everybody takes a lot of pride in what they do. So as far as the breakdown of the class, 27 signees, 26 out of high school and one transfer. And then we signed a PWO Strecco that's going to come in here as well as a mid-year. So we got 16 of those guys, 16 mid-years. So really excited about that. I think that's the most we've had, I think, ever. I think one year we either had 13 or 15, but I think that's the most mid-years we've had, and really excited about having these guys on campus. So 8 of the mid-years are on offense, 8 of the mid-years are on defense, with Strecco counted in there. As far as the breakdown, again, 2 quarterbacks, 2 running back signees, and 1 preferred walk-on signee, 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, 3 offensive linemen, and then we signed an athlete in Tink, Myson Kelly, who's going to train as a receiver and cross-train as a DB, and just a kid that we wanted in the program, and we'll figure out what's the best spot for him as we start coaching him. But unbelievably dynamic and very consistent player. So, and then defensively, 6 defensive linemen. I think that's the most we've signed since, I think, that Christian Wilkins group, maybe back in 15. And then 3 safeties, 3 corners, 2 linebackers. So really just a good group. And again, these guys have been committed for forever, for a long time now, and it's a really close class. That's one of the things I love about this group too, and one of the positives about the way people communicate today is, they're just a very connected group, and then with 16 of these guys coming in and starting in January, some of them already here, it's fun. And as I've gone around, you see the connection in this group already. So it's a close group already, and again, a group that I think will do great things. We had 7 states and D.C. Represented in this group: South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Texas, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and D.C. So, again, just got kids coming from all over to be a part of what we're doing here at Clemson, and we've got an incredibly talented team returning. We've got a very talented team that'll be coming back to Tigertown in January. And, man, this group's going to be a great addition. Again, 16 of them coming mid-year. It's going to be a fun spring ahead. A lot of competition, a lot of evaluation, a lot of opportunity to teach and develop and install and grow our team as we set the foundation for not just next year, but for the next 4 or 5 years to come here in Clemson. So really, really excited about this group. And today and tomorrow, we're celebrating a bunch of graduates. So I just came from our graduate luncheon over at Little John. We have a huge group of graduates, and these guys will be earning their degrees tomorrow, and some of them are master's degrees or second degrees. I'm really, really proud of those guys, and so we're celebrating them today and tomorrow, and then we're welcoming a bunch of new Tigers today as well. So it's a great time to be a part of our program. And as far as who these guys are, quarterback, Chris Vizina, CV as we call him, and Paul Tyson, both coming from Alabama, and actually know each other. And I think Paul would maybe mentored CV a little bit when he was in like middle school or something, but. CV is a great player coming from Briarwood. I mean, he's a big-time talent, a guy that we think, could play for anybody in the country. I mean, he is a special player, big, strong, make all the throws, can really run. He's coming from a great program. And then Paul Tyson is a guy that we recruited a little bit in high school, one of the most prolific passers in the history of the state of Alabama, coming out of high school, 3 years in Tuscaloosa, and then he spent this past year at Arizona State. And with Billy Wiles leaving and obviously DJ leaving, we had a gap, so we needed to get a veteran guy. We obviously believe in Cade and who he is and what we think he's going to do in our program, and we see CV in that same light. So, again, young guys, we don't have many guys, so Trent Pierman, who's really developing nicely, and Hunter Helms is a veteran guy that's been in our program, but we really needed somebody else to come in and kind of give us a little more experience in the room. And so Paul fits that. Kind of a crazy, obviously he's Coach Bryant's great grandson, which is just I can't even. It's just a surreal world that I'm even experiencing that. So really kind of cool. I know his family obviously, and really thankful that he had a lot of opportunity, but I'm thankful that he chose to come be a part and embrace the role that we have for him here. And so that's our two quarterbacks. Running back, Jay Haynes out of Alabama, and then Jarvis Green from right here at Dutch Fork. They're similar and different. And the one thing that they have in common, if you watch these guys, incredibly consistent, dominant performers every week. Every single week you watch these guys, and they're the best player on the field, and regardless. So I think we got exactly what we needed there. And then I'll tell you, this little Peyton Strecco, who was going to sign with Air Force. He was committed to Air Force and decided he wanted to go a little different route. He is a high-level PWO and a kid that I think brings a lot to the table. So I feel good about the guys we got there at running back. He's also from Georgia. And then really excited about the receivers coming in here. We signed, two big guys, two guys with some size, and two guys that are kind of intermediate type guys. Counting Tink in that because we're going to start Tink at Myson Kelly. We're going to start him at receiver and cross-train him as a DB, and like I said, and see where we go from there. But, man, Ronan Hannafin from up in Massachusetts at first. We don't go up to Massachusetts often, but when we do, we get a great one. And the last time we went up there, it was Christian Wilkins, so no pressure to Ronan. But, man, Ronan is he's a special talent. He's a big, strong, athletic kid that can really run. And he's just a football player. I mean, he could literally play anywhere. I mean, he could play either side of the ball. He could do anything. But we really love what he brings to the table, as a receiver. And I'm excited to get my hands on him. But a big body guy and a great competitor, great ball skills, you name it. Just a great get for us. So excited about having him. Noble Johnson from out in Texas. He is really, really, really athletic and gifted, can do a lot of things. He will remind you a little bit of Bo, and he's just a dynamic guy. He's explosive. He's got great ball skills. He came. One of the things I love about Noble is he came to camp, because I told him I wasn't going to offer him unless I got a chance to see him in person at camp, and he had all kind of offers. And he came here and competed, and he dominated. Just absolutely put on a show in our camp and really made it easy. And then just an amazing family, a great addition. So super excited about him. He knew what he wanted to do. Kind of like Cade Klubnik. He kind of grew up following Clemson, and it's a reminder to me that, there's a lot of these kids today. I mean, for the last, 10, 12 years, they've been watching Clemson. And, we just as a reminder of how strong our brand is, regardless of where we go. And but Noble's a perfect example of that. And then Tyler Brown. Tyler is, right down the road here, incredibly polished. A guy, he's an example and a reminder of why we don't offer freshmen and sophomores around here, and that it's a developmental game. This kid has gotten better and better and better and better. And, man, he put on a show this year. A very, very polished player. He's very similar to Antonio in some ways. He's very polished. He can really run. He's a great kid, and he's dreamed about coming to Clemson, and I love that. And he made his dream come true. He made it. He made it happen. So I'm excited about him. And then Tink, right here, there's really not anything Myson can't do. I mean, I've watched this kid a lot like DeAndre Hopkins. I watched him come through, and he was just great at everything. And, DeAndre wasn't really highly recruited. He played everything. He did all this stuff, and then he just came to college, and he got locked in. And I see Tink in that same regard. I mean, it doesn't matter where you put him, running back, safety, corner, to the field, in the boundary, in the slot. he's the best player, and he has been a punt returner, kick returner, you name it. He is truly one of the best, I think, just pure players in this class. And, I think he can do a lot of things. So I'm really excited about that group and what they bring to the table to go along with Adam and Bo and Antonio and Cole Turner and Speck and all those guys that'll be back here. Stellato, we got a really good group, and I think this is a good addition with it. And then 2 tight ends, Olsen, Pat Henry, and Marcus Dixon. Olsen coming from down there at Naples. Kyle Richardson did a great job in evaluating and pursuing and recruiting exactly who he was after. It was a very tight group that we recruited in this class at tight end. And, man, we're super excited about Olsen and Marcus Dixon coming from Pennsylvania. 2 great kids, 2 guys with high-level potential to go right along with Josh Sapp, who I think has got a chance to be a really good player for us. Had a great scrimmage. We had a JV scrimmage Monday. And, so we got a really good group, obviously, with the guys that are already on the roster. So excited about where we are there at that position. Same thing I'd say about Coach Thomas Austin. What a job he did in identifying and evaluating and recruiting what we needed in this offensive line. And to go right on top of Blake Miller and Colin Sadler, who are 2, guys that are going to play a ton of football here at Clemson. But, man, to go out to Texas and get Harris Sewell from Permian, and then be able to get Ian Reed from Vandergrift. I mean, 2 great programs, 2 historic programs. These are big, strong, tough, passionate guys when it comes to playing the offensive line. And Thomas did a great job of identifying everything he was looking for. And then you got big Zach Owens from right down the road here in Georgia at Eagles Landing. He is easily one of the biggest guys that we've had come through here at Clemson. I mean, he is an absolute giant and a guy that I'm super excited about coaching. 3 great kids, great families, great additions, and just what we need in that offensive line. So, again, every position, it's exciting to get these guys to come in on top of the guys that we have. And then defensively, we signed those 6 D linemen. So, signed 3 DNs, David Ojebwe, from up there, same school as Trey at St. John's in D.C., AJ from down in Georgia, Hoffler, another just, great young prospect, and T.J. Parker from Central there in Phoenix City, Alabama. These are 3 guys that all 3 bring different things to the table. All three have great size, strength, athleticism, and dynamic. So just great kids, great families, great fits for us. Been committed for quite a while now, and really 3 guys that could have gone anywhere they wanted to go in the country. And so it's really awesome to have them come and help us, build for our future in that defensive line. Then you look at the D tackles. Peter Woods could really probably play anywhere. He could play linebacker, DN, 3 technique, 4-eye, nose, shade. Running back. I mean, there's really anything he wants to do that he I think is as good a football player as there is in this country, and he's been committed a long time. He's special, #1 player down there in state Alabama, and a special family, and just a blessing to be able to have him come join us. Coming from my rival high school, I grew up. You didn't like the Thompson Warriors. So I promise you that's the first home visit from a Pelham Panther at a Thompson Warrior. So it's kind of great to team up with him, and it's going to be a lot of fun these next few years. Same thing with Vic Burley. Man, we've been tracking this big guy for quite a while, and he's a monster. He is a monster. Great kid, great family. Mom's assistant principal at the rival school, but he comes from just an absolutely great program there at Warner Robins, and just one of the best we've signed. I really believe that. Already here, already getting a little practice in and going to the bowl with us, and then big Steph Island Green from down at Rome. He's one of those guys that, he's similar to those. That's the other thing I like about these three guys is they got some similarities, but there's some differences too. And Steph Island is kind of a combination of those two. I mean, he really is explosive. He's a very explosive player and a tough kid with a hard edge to him, and I think a great fit. So, man, Coach Ski and Coach Eason, what a fantastic job they did in recruiting these guys and leading the way there. And then say the